my big sister, Stacey.
And this is Sister Social Call. Hey, Sissy.
Hello, sister. How are you?
Excellent. How are you tonight?
Well, I'm good, but my brain is a little bit frazzled. I've had a lot going on today, but we'll talk about that in the Peaks, Pits, and Plans.
Right on. We want to welcome all our listeners back to Sister Social Call and say a very special hello to all of our new listeners.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our podcast. Thank you for joining us.
Sis, why don't you tell our listeners about the really exciting news that happened to us this week related to our pod?
Okay, well, you guys, if you've seen our story on social media, Stacey posted about it today, but yesterday, Katie from Pod the North and Canardian, she's a big time Canadian podcast advocate. Yesterday, she had a post on about 18 of her top female podcast picks. And Sisters Social Call made it onto that list. So huge thank you to Katie for including us in that group and for the exposure and for pumping us up, because that means so much to us. And it has already, we saw like a pretty large peak in our downloads today. So that is amazing. Like, that is the power of community, connection, networking, and supporting each other. It is so important. So when you guys hear our podcast and you think you want to share it with somebody, you have no idea how far that goes. So Thank you to Katie for that. Thank you to all of the new people who have started to listen to us, who are downloading our episodes. We appreciate it so very much. If you haven't checked out Katie's podcast, as I said, she's got Pod the North and Canardian, and you can follow her on social media.
Yes.
That's our great big news. It's wonderful.
Yes. Okay. Well, on this episode of the podcast, Chrissy and I are going to talk about traveling together as sisters. We have had many epic trips together, and they have been mostly amazing, like 99% amazing.
What has not been amazing? Like, what's the 1% that wasn't amazing? I'm curious about that.
Well, we get on each other's nerves. I know that. So we will talk about that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it happens. We're sisters.
Exactly. So on this episode, we're going to talk about what our sister travel actually looks like, what's been awesome, what has kind of gone sideways, and what we have learned.
Yeah, we've had a lot of really, really great trips. Honestly, we have done Alaska. I think that's the most recent one. Our cruise to Alaska. Vegas was the year before that for my 40th and mom's 65th. We did the Dominican for our dad's 60th. Also my wedding. Now divorced. We did Vancouver for Dave Matthews Band, but we also did Vancouver for Skookum.
Well, yes. Yes, I missed that on the list.
We did that.
Yeah.
So we've been to Rocky Mountain House together numerous times. So I can't really think of any more, but we've definitely had some trips together. So yeah. What's been your very favorite trip that we've taken together, sis?
I forgot about Skookum, Chuck, when I was writing the show notes. That was an amazing trip, and the music festival was outstanding, seeing Florence and the Machine with you and just a slew of other bands that were awesome.
Here's another one we also did together. We went to Swift Current to the Kite Festival together.
Well, yeah.
That was fun.
That
was fun. And we got to see the band, Stacey, from out there.
From Swift Current?
No.
Well, we got to see Shred Kelly.
Shred Kelly, that's right. Holy, my brain is definitely not firing on all cylinders today. We're on to your favorite trip.
Yeah, I think actually Alaska was my favorite trip with you and Mom. We had some pretty hilarious moments, laughter to make our stomachs hurt. And I just loved all the nature that we got to see. The whales, the wildlife, the coastal temperate rainforest. That was my jam.
How about when we went into Glacier Bay?
Yeah, it was just stunning. Absolutely beautiful. And I think the other thing too, that was only a few years ago that we did that trip. And I feel like I'm a lot older and a little bit wiser about how to navigate traveling with you and mom. And just, I know what I need for myself to stay healthy and stay positive. So on that trip, I had purchased the hydrotherapy package. Everybody knows how much I love hydrotherapy. And I would go there when I needed like a little bit of me time. And I think I found a really good balance on that trip.
Oh my God, I did not.
Okay, well, what's been your favorite trip?
No, I loved Alaska, but it was like, it was just, it was a lot for me because I was sleeping on the bunk bed. And so it was really hard because it just like, I mean, I can get through anything. And trust me, I've slept in worse places, but it's just, when you're tired, it's just hard to, like, you just kind of feel a little iffy all the time. And it's just like, I never really had like one of those sleeps that you knew you were just like totally refreshed. But I loved Alaska, like all around. I just totally loved that. But I think my favorite trip that you and I have taken together truly was Skookum, actually, out to Vancouver. That was kind of like, that was the trip we took after I left my husband, after I ended my marriage. And so it was like a realigning trip, it was just like doing things that I loved with my like favorite person in the world, my sister. And so, and of course, Florence and the Machine is one of my fave musicians. She's wonderful. Seeing that, I also remember watching Blue Rodeo there, and that was also awesome. I don't know, just like, I just love the music. And then also when we were in Vancouver, I got to see Tristan, my friend Mike, that I used to work with in Canmore, old friend of mine. So, it was just an all around good trip. And then we both did our own thing, but then we met up at the festival and we just did Vancouver, and we did that. I remember I went into the freaking horse races one day because Mike was bartending. It was just like a fun trip all around.
So
and then, yeah, and it poured on us for like 3 days. And I'll never forget. Oh my gosh, you wore the freaking sheep poncho.
I did.
And it's pouring rain. This is one of the funnier things that you ever said. I'll never forget. It's pouring rain. And I'm thinking, like, you're wearing a fucking wool poncho. And I'm like, sister, you're wearing a wool poncho. And she's like, yeah. She's like, it's made from sheep. And I'm like, what is your point? Well, sheep get wet and stay dry. Like, it's sheep. Like, it's sheep, man. You kept saying to me. And I'm like, okay, I don't even remember. Were you soaking wet by the end of it?
No, I wasn't.
So your sheep poncho kept you warm and dry.
Yeah, like, I mean, it was wet to touch on the outside, but I wasn't wet.
I still have my sheep poncho. I'm actually looking at it right now. I did not take it to the music festival, but anyways, that was just, I remember I had like a video for the longest time. It's probably on my social media somewhere still. It's like, it's sheep. It's sheep. It's like wool. It's like runs off the back of a sheep. I was just like, okay. Yeah. We had some pretty funny things there too.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome. But yeah. It was a really, like, and I went and got that tattoo, and you came and sat with me all day, like for hours at the tattoo shop. We just hung out. It was just nice. Like, it was just a fun trip.
Okay. What do you enjoy about traveling together, sis?
Well, I think it's just like having my best friend with me. It's just easy to travel. And like you said, we know each other so well that it's just, we know what makes each other tick. We know when each other needs like a time out from each other. We know when we're hungry or we need to exercise. Like, we just are on such a same page, and so it's easy to be like, okay, I need to go do some yoga. I need to do some stretching. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to come with you. Just traveling is easy. Because I think we just get each other. And even if one of us pisses each other off, mostly I piss you off. But if it happens, we're very also quick to just deal with it and be done with it, and not like let it drag on. We're also not like sweep it under the rug type people. It's just like, hey, this is annoying. This pissed me off. Okay, I'm really sorry. Carry on. So I think it works.
Well, and that's funny because I kind of feel like, and like, that's your perspective of, okay, we just say it out loud and move on. And I don't disagree with that, but it's mostly you just say it out loud and move on. There's lots of times where I choose not to express my opinion about our plans, because it's just not worth it to me. Like, to have any further discussion or an argument. And so like, this is how I weigh it. If I'm like feeling something, is this going to matter in a year? And if it doesn't, I don't bring it up or I don't say anything.
Okay. Well, and it's not that we've ever had like a lot of arguments or anything, but I
No.
guess maybe I'm just like, okay, this is like what's what, whatever. I just say it like, yeah, I guess I just say it like it is. But I also think that too. Like even in Alaska, you're just like, nope, this is what I need. I'm going to do this. Okay, cool. Like not like an argument, but we're just very open and we can just be, and it's just all good because we're sisters and we just get that. So I think that we travel really well together.
Oh yeah, we absolutely travel really well together. I think it's not surprising to hear that we like sisters, so we know each other so well. And sometimes I feel we do kind of revert into like our childhood roles, or at least I feel like I do. Like I want to be the peacekeeper.
Interesting.
That's why sometimes I won't bring up if I'm not feeling something and I'm just, I don't want to argue about it. Like I just want to keep the peace. And it's usually not worth it to me. I can't even give an example right now because that's why I asked myself, is this going to matter in a year? And it doesn't even, if it's like a no, then I don't even bring it up. It might irritate me in the short term and I just want to keep the peace.
Yeah. I think we do well when we travel together. I mean, we've had some good trips together. I don't think we've had enough trips together, to be honest. Like, I think there's more to come, but in due time, I mean, finances are always kind of a thing. So,
yeah. And I think now that you're going to go back to school, that's also going to put like a kind of.
Well, I just won't be traveling.
Well, you won't either be traveling or traveling at different times of the year, right?
I just don't even think that it's going to be affordable. Like for me, pardon me. I'm one single person. I live on my own. I own my own home. I will be getting a new car right away. I will be paying for school without getting a loan. Like all of these things I do by myself. There is like zero extra dollars for any, like there won't be, because anything extra will be, like going towards just life and, like there just won't be any extra. And I'm okay with that. I knew I had a really good idea that this is how my life was going to be rolling out for the next 5+ years. And that's why I chose to do Thailand, because it was like, there's lots of reasons I went to Thailand, but it was like one that was like, I know once I do this, I'm going to be hunkered down and I'm okay with that. That's where I'm at with my life right now. And travel's a priority in your life. It's not so much in mine. I feel if it works into my life in a way and it's affordable and it's not going to cause me stress to do it, then I'll do it. But it's not something that's like a massive priority to me. Like it would be in your life for sure. But
yeah, it truly is.
Yeah, it really is. But that's cool.
I have a question for you.
Well, maybe I have an answer.
Yeah. Have you learned anything about me from travel that you don't think you would have known if we didn't travel together?
Good question.
I just think travel really brings out the best and the worst in people. Like you really see the character of people when you travel.
I don't think I've seen anything that I haven't seen before.
Okay.
What about that question to you about me?
No, I just reinforces like I know my sister so well that I know when to hold them and when to fold them. I know not to rock the boat in certain situations, like because it's just not worth it. Like because you can be a little feisty sometimes, and so
I can be spicy. I can't even lie. I am. Yeah. It's in me. I'm a Leo. It's there. Like yeah, I embrace it now. I've learned to apologize for many things. I can't help it sometimes. Yeah. I try really hard as I get older to not let my spice be hurtful. It's just, I'm sometimes spicy. I'm very passionate. I want something, I go after it. It's like everything I do with my whole heart. If I have a vision about something or I want a feeling about something or I want to do something, I generally just want to do it. But the reality is, I think like when we're traveling, is that if there's something that I want to do and nobody else wants to do it, I'm totally cool to do it by myself. And so that doesn't bother me. So if it was like,
I don't think it's ever been anything like that. Oh, Chrissy wants to do this and we definitely don't want to do it because we have always accommodated our vacations.
Yeah.
I'm trying to really think of an example, but maybe it's like eating. I just know we have to go and eat and maybe that's probably also why we're grumpy or because you just get hangry and nobody can make a decision about.
Yeah.
about
Yeah,
where to
that's
go and eat.
probably the worst part. Yeah, when we get hungry and we're not eating, it gets a little touch and go for everybody, I think. I think
And
everybody, even with mom.
yes, I
It's like
agree.
it's okay, nourish. We need nourishment to continue on. That's a reality.
And I
And
think
we
it's just like sometimes we don't factor in that you gotta wait. So you like go at 6:30 or 7 for supper, thinking you're gonna get in, and then by the time you get to the restaurant or whatever, and it's you either have to wait or you gotta go find a different restaurant. It's like 8:30 at night that you're eating supper, and now you're just like kind of ragey, making bad decisions.
have I done that?
I think just all of us are just kind of testy.
I remember in Vegas and you were trying to encourage me and mom to make all these plans and me and mom were just like, no, we don't want to. And then we'd like go to a restaurant and be like, oh, that's going to be like this long of a wait. And we're just like, oh, fuck. Okay. And you're like, that's why you need to make reservations. We're like, oh, we eat nachos around the corner at the Mexican place until we're ready. Like, whatever. It's no big deal. Like, we're not going to die and we're in Vegas. There's food everywhere. That's I guess that's a difference. You do like to be more planned and I like to be more spontaneous and roll with how I'm feeling in the moment. And so that is where we do differ. Where and I
Mhm.
remember this being when we went to Skookum. I remember you being like, "Okay, like I'm going to go do this today. Like what is your plan?" And I was like, "I don't know. I'll meet you at the festival later." Like that is what I know. Like I'm going to go find Mike at some point today. You were going to hang out with Kim. And I just remember being like, don't worry about me. I'll meet you at the festival tonight. When we get there, we'll text each other. It's all good. And it's like, I know for me, I was just like, it's all good. Like, I'll meet you there. That's all good. And you're just like, okay, I just kind of want to know what the plan is.
Yes.
So, but there was like really I didn't really have like a solid plan. So it's like, I can't really give you a solid plan, but you would have a more solid plan because that's
Yes.
how you roll. Yeah.
Yes. That is probably our biggest traveling difference is that I do like to book things and plan things, and you are definitely a little bit more go with the flow. I just want to make sure that like I maximize every single day that I'm on vacation to do the shit that I want to do and have dreamt about. But I don't think you feel like you've not had those opportunities because you didn't plan for them.
No, I never do. Even in Thailand, I didn't really have like a solid plan. I did have like a plan of where I was going because I needed to book those flights and the nights places. But when I was there, I just kind of rolled with it and it was like the trip of yes. So when people asked me to do something, I was just open to being able to say yes to whatever felt right and good at that time. So for instance, that's how I met the peeps from Tennessee and got to enjoy them and their company and do things with them. And nothing was like set in stone. And then some of the coolest things happened, like biking the Green Lung, which none of us would have known about until they had met somebody. And it was just like, yeah, if I'd already had something planned, I wouldn't have been able to experience that. And that's actually one of the highlights of my trip. So,
Uh-huh.
and I'm not somebody that sits around and researches a ton. So you do. That's part of what makes you really excited and makes you love traveling. It's the planning part of it and the research and all that. And while I do a little bit, I just like that was the best part about going to Thailand was just not having a super solid plan, having an idea of some things that I wanted to see, but I wasn't totally hard set on doing them. But it was just like the things that I stumbled into along the journey of doing some of these things were some of my favorite memories of Thailand, actually. So yeah, anyways, we do differ in that way a little bit for sure, but it doesn't mean either one of us. It's just how we travel and everybody's different, right? So
Uh-huh.
it's no sweat.
Well, here I'm going to irritate you right now about planning.
Oh no, we're talking about mom's birthday. Here we go.
Okay, it's her 70th birthday coming up next year, which means it's also Chrissy's 45th and Jay's 50th birthday. So there's been some discussion about what we should do for a family trip. Mostly mom has mentioned it to me, and she did have a conversation with Jay and Lisa about it, and it's going to be tricky to coordinate a trip for all these milestone birthdays next year. For me, I'm a planner. Mom is indecisive. Jay and Lisa have some things that they're not interested in doing, such as cruising. And Chrissy is going to school and it's very unaffordable for her to be traveling right now. So just a lot of things we would love to travel with each other, but some kind of things that are maybe going to be a little bit off the rails for the next few years. So
The
I
problem
don't know.
with this is that I asked mom probably 6 to 8 months ago to start dialing in a plan because it's not affordable for us, especially me, to just up and go somewhere. It's not affordable for anybody pretty much. And so nothing was really decided or even really brainstormed on at that point in time.
Mhm.
So for me, it's just not going to be a thing that I'm going to participate in. And the reality is like, I don't really care that it's my 45th birthday. Yes, it's our mother's 70th birthday. She wants to do something, but I asked her a long time ago to start getting the ball rolling with this so that I could be a part of this. And it didn't happen. So I can't be a part of it. That's fine. But it's like, I can't just, it's going to be 1 year basically until mom's birthday. And she hasn't even started toying with much of a solid plan. So you can't, it's like one of those trips that it's like, if we want to do something big like this, where it's our whole family, it's almost like we need a 5-year plan. And I'm not a big planner, but for something like this to actually work and all of us be able to go, it's going to have to be more planned out than 1 year. It just has to be. It's just everybody's lives are too, everything's going in different directions and whatever else. So it has to be that way. And that's not my priority right now anyways.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be great, but it's just not really practical.
Yeah.
I'm going back to school instead.
Yeah. So our next travel plans, TBD. Although we did talk about Pinoca. Maybe it's
Yeah, like we
Pinoca.
maybe can throw a freaking couple rodeos and maybe some chuck wagon races in there. Quick little road trips for sure. Well, and you never know if I'm not like, if it works out, perhaps, I don't know, because Stacey's going away, but possibility of going to Pod Summit. I would love to go, I think, but
Okay.
it's just depending on what's happening in school and what's happening because Stacey's also going to London. So anyways, there's a lot of things happening. For me, as it stands right now, it's just tripping is just not going to be happening. It's just not really in the budget other than maybe a little road trip here or there. But anything major is just, again, I'm just tabling all that for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. So if other sisters are listening to us and are traveling with their family, any hot tips?
The one thing I think is really important is just to remember that when you go on a trip, it's still your trip. So it's important that you fulfill what you want on your trip.
Uh-huh.
And I think we are good with that. Me, you, and mom, we're pretty good with when we've traveled together, and you and I, it's just like, hey, this is something I want to do. This is something that you want to do. It maybe isn't the same thing. So it's okay that we go do our own thing.
That is good advice.
Yeah. What about you? Do you have any advice?
Well, I think it's just that, will this matter in a year? Like, that's how how I try.
How do you deal with your spicy siblings?
Yeah, exactly. Will this matter in a year? Probably not. Like, just remember those things. And yeah, that's probably my best piece of advice, is just to ask yourself, will this matter in a year? And if it doesn't matter, then don't sweat the small stuff. And I mean, that applies to every part of life. But when you're traveling, like I said, it does bring out the best and the worst in people. And so I think if you can really just ask yourself that, I think that's a good way to manage your emotions.
Also, if you're this is funny, we're talking about emotions. I'm going to quickly throw this in there, but like the other day I was out for a walk and I was just so fucking irritable. Like, and I knew it. I could feel it from the inside out. And you can't even control it. And I said to Stacey and mom, it's like, I don't even know if it's PMS, if it's perimenopause. I don't know what is happening, but there's no stopping. It's like a fucking freight train coming through and there's no stopping that bitch when it's coming. And so honestly, like dealing with that also when you're traveling, like, God, I apologize if I know that you guys have had to deal with a little bit of that, but holy doodle, like last week was a rough one. And so that is also reality when you're traveling, right? Like you're dealing with stuff like that. When Stacey says emotions, like shit can get real. And for us, like, for me, it's like, I don't even know what's coming at me. Like, I don't know what it is. If it's because in this case, I was PMSing, but it's like, it's also throwing a little bit of perimenopause in there. Sprinkle that on top and then throw yourself on a trip, perhaps on a boat in a small, tiny cabin on a bunk bed.
Yeah.
And then good luck to you. Anyways, yeah, that's important. Just, gotta pick the battles, but.
Yeah. Well, I think we should move on to our peaks, pits, and plans, sis.
Sounds good.
On that note, on your note of raging.
I'm not raging anymore, thank God. Oh, that was a tough week. Man, this has been a challenging couple weeks for me, but.
Why don't you just roll into your peaks, pits, and plans then?
All right, well, my pits, it's like a pit and a peak all at the same time, but the car saga continues. This frickin' car is going to haunt me till the day I die, I swear. The old ruby red Hyundai Tucson. Anyways, so they phoned SGI, got a hold of me on Friday to tell me that it was likely going to be a total loss and they were moving my insurance claim to a total loss adjuster. On Monday, they got a hold of me to tell me that, yes, indeed, my car is a total loss. And I'm not surprised by that. And honestly, it's a pit and a peak. It's a pit because I really didn't want to have a car payment. I literally just finished paying my car off. But I'm looking at it in the flip side of that is this is happening for me, not to me. And just now I'm car shopping. But I think in the long run, it's going to be better for me because I am going to be going to school in the fall. And I do have a couple classes that will be in Regina at the university. So I will be having to commute and I'm going to have a better car for commuting. Well, maybe not better on fuel, but anyways, I'm going to have a bit more reliable vehicle. And I think that's going to actually really save me in the long run because my car was really starting to stress me out. Like I said to Stacey the other night, I wouldn't even want to drive the car to the mountains because it's just becoming unreliable. I just don't trust it, even though I probably could. It's just was stressful to me. It is a blessing in disguise, but it's just making for, and I know Stacey feels like guilt. And I'm not saying this because I want her to feel shitty at all, but it's just making for me to have to deal with this. It's like summer's so short. And so now, like last Monday, I was at the car dealership for 3 hours trying to deal with it, like get a car and then go for a test drive. And if you guys have ever had a total loss of a vehicle, it's just a lot of shit going on. Like today, I find out that I have to return now that I've settled on a settlement and I have to return the rental car within 72 hours. Well, I just kind of was in the assumption that I had the rental car for the amount that they told me I could have it for, which was $2,700 worth of rental car, which is not the case. So I have to return it on Monday, go pick up my uncle's truck again because I don't have a vehicle yet. Like I haven't bought one. It's just so yeah. Anyway, so on my days off, it's like I'd rather be hanging at the beach, but hopefully within a week or two, we'll have this all dealt with and then I'll have a new car. So that's a plan. They need to get those checks to me ASAP so I can have a nice, sweet down payment on my car. That's not like it's a pit and it's a peak. So it's not the end of the world. It's just like moving on. And hopefully you guys don't have to hear about the stupid car anymore. What am I going to have pits about all year if I don't have that damn car to be pitting about?
Seriously, because that car is like the theme of all the pits for the last 81 episodes of the podcast.
It's so funny because after I hit the deer, people that listen to our podcast that live in the community are just like, oh, of course you want to hit, like, they're just like, the car, it gives you nothing but problems. Like, people comment on it because they know how, like, horrific this car is. It's just so funny. Anyway, it's just, you can't even help but, like, laugh about it.
Almost worth writing a book about because it was just, that vehicle was fraught with problems.
Oh, yeah. And people are like, so I'm going after a Toyota 4Runner. I'm going to put it out there. Like, dream vehicle, this is what I want. Everyone's like, Krista, like, they cost so much money. Like, are you sure you want to do that? Yada, yada, yada. And I'm just like, I want anything, like the most reliable vehicle, the most trusted vehicle, the most, like, anybody that has ever owned a Toyota says nothing but good things. I've owned a Toyota in the past. Like, I want the actual opposite of what I had. I want nothing to do with another. The service at Hyundai was amazing. My 2 cars I had from Hyundai, not amazing. I mean, I drove the shit out of the last one. So it's like, it's partly my fault. I'm not going to lie. But I mean, I serviced it and everything. But anyways, it doesn't matter. I just want something that I know is going to be a good vehicle and it's going to last me like 10 years minimum. Like, and Toyotas are really well known for that. Yes, I'm going to pay a little bit more money. I get it. It's going to be a bit bigger vehicle. My fuel is going to cost a little bit more, but I'm not traveling to the farm anymore. I'm not traveling. Like the furthest I'm going to be going is to the city and likely maybe out to the mountains to go skiing. Perhaps now I'll go on like a little car camping trip in my 4Runner when I get it. But anyways, it doesn't matter. It's just like, I need something that I know I can trust. And because I have stressed about a vehicle for 6-7 years. Like,
Yeah, too long.
for a long time. I'm just so over it. So, but anyhow, it's all good. So then peaks. I mean, it's been really freaking busy at work. Yeah, I don't know. It's just been like, it's always a good week. Like this is a little side note, but it's like, yes, they wrote my car off and they're actually giving me more than I thought that I was going to get for it. So that's a peak. Like in as much as it's a bit inconvenient, it's like, all right, well, this is going to be a decent down payment. So that's awesome. And to be fair, I was at Toyota on Monday and they've been really good to me. And well, they wanted to sell me the most like grandiose limited edition Toyota 4Runner. That's like $69,000. I was just like, I had to sit on it for 24 hours and I just thought to myself, that's crazy. But I was also proud of myself for just taking the time, stepping back and just being like, no, I actually don't need that type of vehicle. I don't need that much vehicle. I am one single person. I don't need a 7-seater. I have no children. And so I told them that today. I talked to them on the phone. I said, you know what? That vehicle is far more than I need. And I was just proud of myself for just sticking to my guns and telling them what I wanted and the price range and that I wouldn't go over a certain amount. And you know what? They already came back to me with that they have 2 vehicles options. So they're going to phone me tomorrow morning. And then my client was in today and his son-in-law owns the Toyota dealership in Yorkton. So he connected me with them and they already got back to me. I have 3 different vehicles kind of on the go, people looking around. So I feel hopeful this is not going to last a super long time, but I am proud of myself for actually not being impulsive, stepping back, because sometimes I get just like in this tizzy where it's like, oh my God, I need to fix this problem right now. Well, it's not the end of the world. I only have to get to work really. And so it's not that big of a deal. And I talked to Stacey about it. I talked to my brother about it. I talked to my sister-in-law about it and I hashed it out and then in my head and I just, I came up with a plan and then I talked to them about it. I was kind of nervous because I think it's not easy to say to somebody that it's not in my budget.
Yeah.
Like, you want to be able to afford whatever the hell you want, but that's not reality. And so I was like, oh my God, I got to tell these people that like, it's not in my budget. That it's like, I don't owe them anything, like I don't owe them anything. And so it was just like, you get over yourself a little bit and just tell them that. And the reality is that I don't want to have to change my lifestyle for a car payment. That's fucked. So I'm not doing it. Anyway, and there we are. There's that. So yeah, this is like also a weird story, but I don't know where to tell it, but I want to talk about the cat story. Yesterday, my neighborhood had this whole, like we have this action going on in the neighborhood because there's coyotes. There's a coyote den I live in a town. There's a coyote den in town. So the coyotes are starting to push in other animals because coyotes are ravenous. They'll eat anything. So yesterday there was like a deer on the street and my cat was looking all weird at it and Tex is always on a leash. And anyways, the deer is kind of looking at me and it doesn't know where to go. And all of a sudden I hear my neighbor, Laura Lee. I could hear her yell, but I assumed she was like saying something to one of her dogs. Like I wasn't even sure. It's like, oh, whatever. So I come inside, I grab my phone. Well, here she's messaged me saying, I think there's been a lynx or some big cat-like animal and it chased a black cat up the tree. So, well, it's not my cat because Tex is on a leash, but I knew instantly it was neighbor cat Dennis. I was like, it's probably Dennis up the tree. Oh my gosh, I'll come over right now. So I go over to her house. Sure enough, there's Dennis. He's his big beady eyeballs, like huge. And he's just like so stressed. So I get a hold of Brandon Darren. I'm like, Dennis is up the tree. You guys got down. It's like, you're going to need a ladder. Like he's way up there. So anyways, Dennis Darren gets Dennis under his arm, but then Darren can't get down the ladder because he can't, like, he needs to hold the ladder, and Dennis is obviously scared. So here I am. I feel like, when firefighters rescue animals out of trees, it's kind of what I felt like. So Darren's up there and he's like, "You're going to catch him?" And I was like, "I guess so," because Dennis needs to come down and he's scared. But then I'm nervous. Like, what if Dennis, he's my neighbor cat and he loves me. I know that, but I've never had to catch a cat from like 6 feet above me or however high up he was. And so I was like, "Yeah, just drop him. Like, I'll deal with whatever happens." And so he just drops him, boom, into my arms, and I catch Dennis the cat. I just grab him and I curl him up real tight to me. And I'm just like, "It's okay, Dennis." And I'm holding him, and he didn't even scratch me one time. Yeah. So, and then after that, I take Dennis home, put him in his house. And then after that, Laura Lee's like, "Oh my gosh, Krista, another cat came through my yard and a fox." And then I'm outside with Tex, and then there's this freaking other orange cat in my yard. And I'm like, "Where did this guy come from?" Well, Darren puts that up on Facebook. Sure enough, it's my client Marion's cat. Well, while I was at work today, full report from the neighbors, the cat got picked up this afternoon. The owners came and got him. So it's been a whole, like Laura Lee says, it's the wild kingdom out here. Okay, so my plans are I got to make some more bracelets because I'm doing a sale, the Sip and Shop again on the 1st of August at the Yacht Club. So I got to get some more anklets and bracelets done, but I don't need too many more. And then Saturday, I'm going to be bartending at a ball tournament from 3:30 till 6. So that's kind of fun and exciting. I'm doing that for the Lions Club. They asked if I could pull a shift. So I'm going to dust off my old bartending hands and do that. And my friend Kim from the city, she's actually renting a cabin out here for a few days. So they're going to be on the beach on Saturday. So I'm going to go find them in between my shift. And then, yeah, Monday is the day. I need to drop off this rental car. I need to get the truck. I need to pick up the siding that I've ordered. It's come in. So I need to do that. And hopefully I can go buy a car from somewhere and then get it within a week. So I got a lot of things going on Monday. And then, I'm doing something very cool Monday night, which I'll tell you guys after. And that is going to do it for me. So sister, take it away because I feel like I've talked so much.
Okay. Well, one small pit.
I want to know more about this. I was reading it. I'm like,
Well, just one small pit. It's the middle of July. Bike season is full on right now. The days are very, very hot, and my husband is he's just not talking very much. So when Sean gets stressed out, he actually withdraws even more, which he's already an introvert and doesn't talk very much.
There's not a lot of room for more introverting there.
No. So his communication is kind of breaking down right now. And I feel like sometimes I need to over communicate just to try and get the little nuggets that might be like swimming around in Sean's brain. So on Monday, we had technicians here installing a hot water tank and doing maintenance on our heat pump. And the day before we had to move our dryer. So I knew Sean had to move that back, or I would have to help him, or he'd have to talk to the guys to see if they would help. Long story short, all of a sudden I can see Sean on his phone and just not telling me what's going on. And because we're trying to make plans for the day, the rest of the day, we hadn't really firmed up our plans. Here's my planning brain in action, just wanting to know what the plan is. And he just doesn't have a lot of words to give to me to tell me that this is the problem, like what problem he might be trying to fix. So I was just annoyed with him because he just won't talk. So at this time of the year, I recognize that he is tired, that it's very hot out, and that he's stressed, and that July is often one of the hardest parts of the bike season because they've been in the depths of shit of the bike season for already March, April, May, June, July, 5 months. They've been going so hard. And yet there's not really the end is not near yet for them.
No.
It might be another month that things might start to slow down when kids go back to school. But out here, bike season goes until October, November, until it snows, right? And Yeah. So it was a little tricky with him this week. So, but we did go on a date. So this is a Friday night. This is a peak. So we did go on a quick little date on Friday night. There's a barbecue place in town. Their permanent year-round operation is on the highway, but in the summertime they open up this little patio downtown with a food truck, and they had live music on there. So we went for barbecue and live music on Friday night. So that was really nice. And Monday, after we did get our poop in a group, after we figured out what the hell we were doing that day, there's a place where we can literally get water straight off the mountain. So we went and got water.
Yeah.
Filled up there. And then we went and did some fruit stand shopping. So that was really fun.
Oh, yeah. That's nice.
Yeah. So that was fun. And we just went to this body of water in this little adjacent town called Wilmer, and just it's kind of beachy, kind of muddy, kind of grassy area. But we just watched some loons. It was awesome. We watched a mama loon go fishing and feeding her two little babies. It was super cool. Yeah. And I love the sound of loons. So good.
Yeah, they do sound cool.
Another peak, I walked 13 kilometers with my backpack on in preparation for my Mount Assiniboine trip, and my body was sore, but it didn't fail. So that's great.
I'm proud of you for doing that, sister. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. So looking forward to that, and I'll speak to that in plans. So tomorrow, Thursday, I'm going to Everwild, the hydrotherapy spa in Canmore. I am so pumped. This will be probably the last one for a while that's new to me, that I haven't tried before. So my top 10 list will be forthcoming. I promise. I know I've said it too many times. Chrissy just rolled her eyes at me, but I will get it out there after this one.
Perfect.
Yeah. And then after my little trip to Everwild, I have a very busy 2 weeks coming up, and I need to prep for that. So I'm going hiking in Mount Assiniboine for 3 days. That will be great. I need to get finished getting packed. I'm like 80% packed. I come home for 2 days, and then I'm going to Kamloops. I'm being deployed for work into the regional operations center. And so I'm there for 9 days in Kamloops. This will be tricky for us to get a podcast together, but we're going to try. I'm going to try real hard to still record while we're away. And then I come back, and I really haven't talked too much about this, but I got another little part-time, very casual, on-call, no hours guaranteed job. I am starting to work at Kicking Horse Coffee in the roasting and packaging area in my downtime. And so my first day I start, I think, is August 10th. So I'm pretty excited.
I can't wait to hear how that goes. I'm excited for you. You're going to be able to smell delightful coffee beans all the time. Like, that's my favorite smell, fresh coffee beans.
Yes.
It's going to be amazing.
I'll be roasting those suckers, sissy. I'll be making them.
You think you're actually going to become a roaster?
Yeah, the actual group that I'm being trained with primarily is the roasting team.
Oh my gosh, when I come there, I want you to take me on a tour.
I don't think that happens.
Why?
It is highly secure. Yeah. Anyways, my first, I think, training will actually be taking the green beans and loading them into the hopper that goes to the roaster. Yeah. I'm hoping to learn how to drive a forklift.
Oh, now that's cool, sissy.
I know. It's a real, actually transferable skill.
I would say so. I love this. I did not know that this was on one of your lists of things that you would like to do in your lifetime.
It's not on any list that I want to learn how, but I think it's a good skill to learn how to have, is how to drive a forklift.
Well, I think so too, because if you can drive a forklift, you can probably drive quite a few different little machines.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they do the training right there.
Excellent. Oh my gosh, I can just already picture you like Bob the Builder with your hard hat on, your steel-toed boots, and your like safety vest in your forklift. Beep, 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 beep. I got the visual.
Yeah. I don't think I'll have a hard hat on, but definitely a hairnet.
Oh yeah, because you're dealing with food stuffs.
That's right.
Amazing. Well, that all sounds great.
Yeah. And so I think that's just what my next little while is, just getting prepared for a very busy couple weeks and just hoping to keep my life on the rails, because I think when I get to Kamloops, it will be very, very busy, very long days. And yeah, just trying to keep my life on track there. So anyways, that's it. That's all.
Wow. We had a jam-packed episode there. Woo-wee. All right, you guys. Well, you know the drill. If you guys like the episode, have anything you want to tell us about, what your tips are for traveling with your siblings, all that good stuff, let us know. Share the episode with the people that you know and love, that you think might enjoy it, all of that wonderful stuff. If you haven't subscribed or followed us on Instagram or whatever streaming platform you use, please go and do that. That's helpful to us. If you want to find Stacey, you can find her on Facebook and LinkedIn. You can find myself, Krista, on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And you can find Sisters Social Call on Instagram. And I think that's going to wrap it up for us.
Love you, sissy.
Love you too, sis.